time for All Things Money Matters, and the local bourse is weaker so far today, along with its global peers, as investors mulled over the U.S. inflation data, which came in worse than expected. Viv Govender is portfolio manager at Rand Swiss. He joins us to talk us through the latest moves on the markets. Viv, a happy Friday to you. So how are we faring at midday trade? Is the Rand rally sustainable?
Hopefully it is. I mean, generally the Rand should be a little stronger than it is if it wasn't for surprising news events like last year's issues and, some stuff happening in Turkey earlier in the year and so on. The Rand on a historic basis is probably a little weaker, like I said, from what the trend lines look like. So we should head, a little stronger from here. That being said, there are obviously still, major issues in South Africa. Our growth rate has been downgraded yet again. We, have obviously, more fiscal issues in the country, despite the fact that we raised tax revenue quite strongly in the last period. But I think that overall factors that boost the Rand, especially commodity prices, should be in our favor.
The IMF says it's seeking lackluster growth in medium term for South Africa. Talk us through that update.
Yes, I mean, we were already before this update looking to be the weakest, one of the weakest countries out there in terms of economic growth. We definitely weren't matching this 5-7% we're seeing in India and China. But we weren't even beating places like Europe and America that were being close to 4%. And the fact that now we're seeing these numbers being downgraded further means that not only are we not catching up to like the places that we want to be like the US, we're falling behind some of the peers in our group, the developing countries. We're losing some of the progress that we've had, in terms of being ahead of places in like Africa and Asia that we have been historically. And this is obviously a major issue for South Africa. We saw coming out, for instance, in the unemployment numbers recently, we have over a third of the people in the country unemployed in terms of the strict definition, and over 40% unemployed in terms of the broader definition. The only way to solve that is to actually have economic growth multiples, not just higher than where we are at, but multiples closer to 4 to 5% at the very least. And the fact that we're downgraded from low levels already is very troubling.
From your observation, if you were following developments from last night's speech, does it appear to you that there's a plan in place? Maybe not even a plan, but there's, tangible things that we can do to turn the tide?
Yeah, look, I mean, not to be like funny about this or to be mean about it, but it seems the President Ramaphosa says the right things but doesn't do them, and that seems to be his MO at the moment, or his reputation in the market. He says the things that the market would think is good. It says the kind of stuff that you would think that was get us back on track as a country, development, fight corruption and so on. But the problem is that until now, we have not seen any concrete measures that have demonstrated his ability to actually implement these things. And, and that is the main issue, I think. If we could see more, clear-cut, responsible.
Viv, unfortunately, we are losing your there we are.
And these people basically are, falling behind and are replacing them for these particular reasons. And accountability, performance.
We lost your thought there. We only got you on responsibility, but I think we get the gist of it. Viv Govender, are you still with us?
Yeah.
There we are. So let's take a look at news from BAT reporting a 7% rise in full-year revenue. What drove that spike?
Well, they say in constant currency it's closer to 3 to 5% in constant currency, so it's a little lower. So currency helped a couple % there, but they did show some kind of improvement in some of these alternative products, these vaping and these other kind of products, non-combustible stuff, as they call it, and some of the alternative vape products and so on have taken off a little bit more. Still a small part of the business, but I think that's also helping them basically progress. The problem with tobacco is at the moment obviously it's a declining industry. People that smoke don't want to smoke. People that haven't smoked yet have been strongly advised not to do so. So over time, we would expect the market share to fall. And of course, they also are penalized very strongly by governments around the world. No government wants to promote tobacco. Every government wants to tax tobacco, at a higher rate than other products. So yes, it's a very difficult industry to be in. And the fact that they are seeing some growth in some alternatives that might have a longer lifespan is quite good.
And finally, Bidvest's shares have leapt 10% as it flags profit jump. What should we understand about that statement?
Well, basically, if you look at the share price, yes, it's up 10% today, just over 10% last time I checked. But it's just getting us back to where it was before 2020, basically the COVID epidemic crisis that fall that it saw. Bidvest was particularly badly affected. A lot of stuff they do is transport. A lot of stuff it does is for the overall economy. And the fact that we were basically stuck in storm mode for a year and a bit, meant that the company was basically having to recover from that particular event. And so that's what we're seeing right now. The share price is up 10%, but just basically getting us back to where we were just before the crash of 2020.
Viv Govender is the portfolio manager at Rand Swiss. Thank you for your time this afternoon.